Welcome, lords, ladies, especially ladies, and all those cursed to have no particular title, whether by misfortune or lack of money, to The Winter's Tale, the play we shall perform to you tonight, come hell or high water. Couple brief notes. Exits are precisely where the exits are noted. Though you may also, of course, run screaming to the back, should fire catch out, whether through the passion of the actors or simply the passion of your participating hearts. We're grateful for you, every one of you, especially those we don't know, because often it's only our friends who come to these things. Thank you for supporting local theater and for being here tonight. We hope that you've managed to have some popcorn on your way in, and if not, you may have some at the intermission. We hope you've also given a donation to the fine people here. Every bit of it goes into the next play, I promise. Now, The Winter's Tale. We lay our scene in the fair isle of Sicilia, where a certain king, Leontes by name, entreats his best friend, his childhood friend, the king of Bohemia, that is, Polixenes, to stay a while. All is well. All, even, peachy. Until that same King Leontes becomes consumed by jealousy and believes his childhood friend, the aforementioned Polixenes, to be seducing his queen. To go so far even to believe that the queen, his queen, is pregnant with the child of Polixenes. Consumed by the black fire of envy and shame, our Leontes, ignoring the best counsel of his friends and advisors, condemns his childhood friend to death, his beloved queen to prison, and her child, his child, to a strange and abysmal banishment. Thus, the cold and bitter beginning of our Winter's Tale.
Time changes of the watery star hath been the shepherd's note since we have left our throne without burthen. Time as long again would be filled up, my brother, with our thanks. And yet we should, for perpetuity, go hence in debt.
Stay your thanks a while. Pay when you part.
Sir, that's tomorrow. I'm questioned by my fears of what may chance or breed upon my absence. Besides, I stay to tire your royalty.
We're tougher, brother, than you can put us to it.
No longer stay.
1 7 night longer.
Very sooth, tomorrow.
We'll part the time betweens, and if that'll no gainsay.
Press me not. There's no tongue, none in the world, so soon as yours can win me.
Tongue-tied, our queen. Speak you.
I have thought, sir, to have held my peace till you had drawn oaths from him not to stay. You, sir, charge him too coldly. Tell him you are sure all in Bohemia is well. To tell he longs to see his son was strong. But let him say so then and let him go. But let him swear so, and he shall not stay. Will thwack him hence with distaffs. Yet, of your royal presence, I'll adventure the borrow of a week. You'll stay.
No, ma'am.
Nay, but you will.
I may not. Verily.
Verily, you put me off with limber vows, but I should yet say, sir, no going. Verily, you shall not go. A lady's verily is as potent as a lord's. Will you go yet? Force me to keep you here as prisoner. My prisoner or my royal guest, by your dread, verily, one of these you shall be.
Your guest then, madam, to be your prisoner should import offending.
Not your jailer then, but your kind host. Was not my lord the verier wag of the two?
Oof. We were as twin lambs that did frisk in the sun, and bleat the one of the other. What we changed was innocence for innocence. We knew not the doctrine of ill doing.
By this we gather you have tripped since.
Oh, most sacred lady! Temptations have since been born to us, for in those unpledged days was my wife a girl. Your precious self had then not crossed the eyes of my young playfellow.
Grace to boot of this made no conclusion, like you say your queen and I are devils. Yet, go on.
Will he stay?
You stay, my lord.
At my request you would not. Hermione, thou never spokest to better purpose.
Never.
Never but once.
What have I twice said well? When was it before I prithee tell me?
Why, that was when 3 crabbed months had soured themselves to death. Ere I could make thee open thy white hand. Clap thyself, my love.
Why, lo you now, I have spoke to the purpose twice. The one forever earned a royal husband, the other for some while a friend.
Too hot. Too hot. To mingle friendship far as mingling blood. I have tremor cordis on me. My heart dances. But not for joy. Not joy. My peacock! My peacock! My faith, thou smutched thy nose? Ah, they say it is a copy after ours. We are like twinned eggs. Women say so. And yet we must be neat, Captain. Not neat, but cleanly, Captain. Cleanly. And yet the steer, the heifer, and the calf are all called neat. How now? My wanton calf. Art thou my calf?
Yes, if you will, my lord.
What means Cecilia?
He seems something unsettled.
How is it with you, best brother?
You look as though you held a brow of much distraction. Are you moved, my lord?
No. No, in good earnest. Looking on the lines of my boy's face. Methought I did recoil. 23 years saw myself in my green velvet coat, my dagger muzzled, lest it bite its master, and so prove, as ornaments oft do, too dangerous. How like methought I then was to this squash. This colonel, this gentleman, mine honest friend, will you take eggs for money?
No, my lord, I'll fight.
Well, why, a happy man be as dole. My brother, are you so fond of your young friend, as we do seem to be of ours?
Well, if at home, sir, with all my exercise, my mirth, my matter, now my sworn friend, and then my enemy. He makes a July's day short as December. With his varying childlessness, cures in me thoughts that would thick my blood.
So stands the squire, officed with me. We two will walk, and leave you to your graver steps. Hermione, how thou lovest us. Show in our dear brother's welcome. May what is dear in Sicily be cheap. Next to thyself, and my young rover, he's a parent to my heart.
If you should seek us, we are yours in the garden. Shall us attend you there?
To your own bents dispose you. You'll be found. Be you beneath the sky. I am angling now, although thou perceivest not how I give line. Go to. Now she holds up the dead, the bill to him, and arms herself with the boldness of a wife to her allowing husband. Gone already, inch thick, knee deep, or the head and ears of the forked one. Go play, boy, play. Thy mother plays, and I play too, but so disgraced a part whose issue will hiss me to the Contempt and clamor will be my knell. Shall play by play. Oh, but there is many a man, many a cuckold. Even now, even while I speak this, who holds his wife by the arm, who little thinks she has been sluiced in his absence, and his pawn fished by his next neighbor, by the smile of his neighbor. How now, boy?
I'm like you, Sam.
Like me? Huh. Why, that's some comfort. What? Camillo there.
Aye, my good lord.
This great sir will stay yet longer.
Your highness had much ado to make his anchor hold. When you cast out, it still came home.
Didst note it?
He would not stay at your petitions.
Didst perceive that they are here with me already, whispering round in Cecilia, and so forth? 'Twill be far gone, I will gust at last. How came it that he did stay?
At the good queen's entreaty.
The queen's beat. Good should be pertinent. But so it is not. Was this taken by any understanding pate but thine?
I think most understand Bohemia stays longer.
Aye. But why?
To satisfy your highness and the entreaties of our most gracious mistress.
Satisfy the entreaties of our most gracious mistress. Satisfy. Let that suffice. We have trusted thee, Camillo, with all the nearest things to our heart, as well our chamber councils, wherein priest-like thou hast cleansed our bosom, but we have been deceived in thy integrity, deceived in that which seems so.
Be it forbidden, my lord.
Are you not seen? But for past doubt you have, or your eyeglass is thicker than a cuckold's horn, or heard, for to a vision so apparent, rumor cannot be mute, or thought, for cogitation resides not in that man that does not think. My wife is slippery. If thou wilt confess, or else be impudently negative, to have no eyes, nor ears, nor thought, and say my wife's a hobby horse, and deserves a name as a rake as any flax wench that puts to before her troth plight. Say it, and justify it.
I will not be a stander by to hear my sovereign mistress clouded so without my present vengeance taken. True, my heart, you never spoke. What did become you less than this?
Is whispering nothing? Is leaning cheek to cheek, meeting noses, kissing with inside lip, stopping the career of laughter with a sigh, a note infallible of breaking honesty, horsing foot on foot, sulking in corners, wishing clocks more swift, hours, minutes, noon, midnight, and all eyes blind, with the pin and web, but theirs only that would unseen be whipped. Is this nothing? Why? Then the world, and all that's in it is nothing. The covering sky is nothing. Bohemia, nothing. My wife is nothing. Nor nothing have these nothings, if these be nothing.
Good my lord, be cured of this diseased opinion, for 'tis most dangerous.
Say it be. 'Tis true.
No, my lord.
It is. You liest, Camillo. I say, you liest. And I pronounce thee a gross lout, a mindless slave, or else a hovering temporizer, who would see with thine eyes both good and evil, inclining to them both. Were my wife's liver infected as her life, she would not live the running of one glass.
Who disinfect her?
Why, he who wears her like a medal, hanging about his neck! Bohemia! If I had servants true about me, with eyes that bore witness to see mine honor, as their prophets, their own particular threats, they would do that which should undo more doing. I, and thou, his cupbearer, whom I from meaner form have benched and reared to worship, who may see plain as heaven sees earth, and earth sees heaven. How I am galled, mightst bespice a cup to give mine enemy lasting wink, which draught for me were cordial.
Sir, my lord, I could do this, and with no rash potion, but with a lingering dram that should not work so maliciously like poison, but I cannot believe this crack to be my dread mistress so sovereignly being honorable. I have loved.
Make that thy question, and go rot. Dost think I am so muddied, so unsettled, to appoint myself in these vexations, and sully the purity and whiteness of my sheets?
I must believe you, sir. I do, and will fetch up Bohemia for it, provided that when he's removed, your highness may again take up your queen as yours at first, even for your own son's sake.
You put it out even as mine own course. No blemish shall come to the queen's honor. None.
My lord, go then, and with a countenance as clear as friendship wears at feasts, keep with Bohemia and with your queen. I am his cupbearer. If from me he have wholesome beverage, account me not your servant.
This is all. Do it, and thou hast the one half of my heart. Do it not, and thou splitst thine
I'll
own.
do it, my lord.
I will seem friendly, as thou hast advised.
Oh, miserable lady! But for me, what case stand I in? I must be the poisoner of good Polixenes? My ground to do it is obedience to a master, one who, in rebellion with himself, would have all that are his, so too. To do the deed, promotion follows. If I could name an example of thousands who had struck anointed kings and flourished after. I'll not do it. But since nor stone, nor parchment, nor weight bears not one, let villainy itself forswear it. Oh, I must forsake the court. To do it or no is certain to me a breakneck.
Is this strange? Thinks my favor here begins to warp. Not speak. Good day, Camilla.
Hail, most royal sir!
What's the news at court?
None rare, my lord.
The king hath on him such a countenance, he lost some province, and a region loves as he loves himself. Even now, I met him with customary compliment, and he, wafting his eyes to the contrary, and falling a lip of much contempt, speeds from me. This leaves me to consider, what is breeding that changeth thus his manners?
I dare not know, my lord.
How? Dare not. Do not. Do you know and dare not? Be intelligent to me.
There is a sickness, which does put some of us in a distemper, but
Camilla, as you are certainly a gentlewoman, I beseech you, if you know aught which does behove my knowledge thereof, to be informed, imprisoned and not in ignorant concealment.
I may not answer.
The sickness called me, and yet I well. I must be answered.
Sir! I will tell you, since I am charged in honor and by him that I think honorable, therefore, mark my counsel.
Honor, good Camilla.
I am appointed him to murder you
By whom?
by the king.
For what?
He thinks, nay, with all confidence he swears as if he had seen it or been an instrument to vice you to it, that you have touched his queen, forbiddedly.
Oh. How should this grow?
I know not. But I am sure 'tis safer to avoid what's grown than to question how 'tis born. Therefore, if thou distrust my honesty, away tonight. Your followers I will whisper to the business, and will by twos and threes at several posterns clear them of the city. For myself, I place my fortunes in your service, which are by this discovery lost. I swear by the honor of my parents I have uttered truth.
I believe thee. I saw his hardness face. Give me thy hand. My ships are ready. My people did expect my hints departure 2 days ago. His jealousy is for a precious creature. If she's rare, must it be great. As his person's mighty, must it be violent. And as he does conceive that he is dishonored by a man whichever professed to him, why in that his revenges must be made more bitter. Come, Camilla.
It is within my power to commit the posterns of all the city. If it please your highness, take the urgent hour. Come, sir, away.
Take the boy to you. He so troubles me, 'tis past enduring.
Come, my lord. Shall I be your playfellow?
No, all none of you.
Why, my sweet lord?
You'll kiss me hard and speak to me as if I were a babe. I love you better.
And why so, my lord?
Not for because your brows are blacker, yet some say that black brows become among the best, so that for not be too much hair, but a semicircle, half moon, drawn from pen.
And who taught you this?
I learned it out of a woman's face. Pray now, what color are your eyebrows?
Blue, my lord.
Nay, that's not nose, but not eyebrows.
The queen, your mother, round her face, and we shall present our services to a fine new prince one of these days. And then you'll want us if you would have me.
She is spread of length into a goodly bulk. Good time, encounter her. What wisdom stirs amongst you? Come, sir. Now I implore you again. Pray you, sit by us and tell us a tale.
There sad shall be.
As merry as you will.
A sad tale best for winter. I want sprites and goblins.
Let's have that then, good sir. Come on, sit down and try to frighten me with your sprites. You're powerful at it.
There was a man.
Nay, come sit down, then on.
John, I'll tell it softly. Young cricket shall not hear.
Come on then, give it me in mine ear.
His train! Camilla, with him!
Behind the tuft of pines I met them. Never saw I men scour so on their way. I eyed them even to their ships.
How blessed I am in my just censure, in my true opinion. Camilla was his help in this, his pander. There's a plot against my life, my crown. All's true that is mistrusted. That false villain whom I employed was pre-employed by him. He has discovered my designs, and I remain a pinched thing. Yea, a very trick for them to play at will. How came the postern so easily open?
By her great authority, which often hath no less prevailed than so on your command.
I know it too well. Give me the boy. I'm glad you did not nurse him, though he does bear some signs of me. You have too much blood in him.
What is this? Sport?
Bear the boy hence. He shall not come about her. Away with him! And let her sport herself with that she's big with. For 'tis Polixenes has made thee swell thus. You, my lord, look on her, mark her well. Be but about to say she is a goodly lady, when the justice of your hearts will there to add. Take pity! She is not honest, honorable. But be it known, from he who has the most cause to grieve, that it should be, she's an adulteress.
Should a villain say so? The most replenished villain in the world, he were as much more villain. You, my lord, do but mistake.
You have mistook, my lady. Polixenes for Leontes. I've said she's an adulteress. I've said with whom. More, she's a traitor, and Camillo a federary with her. And one who knows what she should shame to know, but with her most vile principle, that she's a bed swerver.
No, by my life, privy to none of this. How will this come to grieve you, when you shall come to clearer knowledge that you thus have published me? Gentle my lord, you scarce can write me thoroughly than to say you did mistake.
Away with her, to prison. He who shall speak for her is a far off guilty, but that speaks.
There's some ill planet reigns. I must be patient till the gods look with an aspect more favorable. Good my lord, I am not prone to weeping, as our sex commonly are, but I have lodged here that honorable grief that burns worse than tears drown. Beseech you, all my lords, with thoughts so qualified as your charity shall